Why is this woman crying? Because she's just been sentenced to jail. Why was she put in jail?
Because she wanted to choose her kids' public school. Well, you find it hard to believe she'd be jailed for that, but that did happen. That woman, Kelley Williams-Bolar, lives in part of Akron, Ohio that's not so safe. Her father lives in a safer part of town, said to have better schools. So Kelley enrolled her daughters in schools in his neighborhood and told school officials that the kids lived at her dad's address. And they do. Sometimes they spend a lot of time with their grandfather because his neighborhood's safer.
Grandparents are usually allowed to watch the children if something is wrong. And I'm a grandparent. I just felt that we did the right thing.
Her town did not think that was the right thing. Here's a report from our affiliate in Cleveland.
The district hired a private investigator who shot this video of the kids waiting for a bus near their grandfather's house, along with their mother, Kelley Williams-Bolar. They also followed her to her house in Akron, believing she lied to the district about where the kids live. Williams-Bolar told the court there was no intent to deceive the district, but the superintendent believes the case cost them $30,000.
Those dollars need to stay home with our students.
This judge sentenced her to 10 days in jail.
I felt that some punishment or deterrent was needed for other individuals who might think to defraud the various school systems.
The judge sent her to jail for defrauding the system. But my next guest calls her the new Rosa Parks. Kevin Chavous is chairman of Democrats for Education Reform. Rosa Parks?
Well, I tell you, John, I haven't seen anything like it. How many of us know someone who has used the wrong address or someone else's address to get their kids in a better school? I mean, it's outrageous that they would spend the resources and energy and time, hired a private investigator to look at this woman and find out what she's doing when she wants her kids in a better school. That's exactly what happened to Rosa Parks. She fought an unjust law. It was morally right for her to do so, and that's what Kelley Williams did.
She fought segregation by refusing to move to the back of the bus.
Yeah, well, this is a new form of civil rights abuse. The fact that we aren't educating the lion's share of American school children in the way we should. And this woman who knows her children in a bad school, she's in an unsafe neighborhood, she has to send them to another school district to get a good education. Is that where we are?
Well, yeah, it's where we are. And rich people can move to the good neighborhood.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm thinking about Brian Boitano and this spontaneous order. You see what the government resources did. They got together like you and Brian did, and they conspired on how to stop this.
Telling people, you go here, you go there.
And we hire an investigator. We're going to set an example. You're defrauding the system. Why not allow her to pick the school that works for her kids so then the system will work in the way it should?
Yeah, attach the money to the student, and they're spending in America $11,000 per student. Let them go to any school. Schools would be eager to take those kids.
Well, I know, but that's too much like right. I mean, the bottom line in this country, we've allowed ourselves to be over-systematized so that everything has to report to a certain office. You have to have several people check off a box. That's the only way it works. But we know, as she indicated, it doesn't work for too many American families.
Now, she said, she was asked about this, I'm not Rosa Parks, I'm just a mom looking out for her kids.
Well, that's the beauty of it. She wasn't, you could see by the tape, this woman was devastated at the thought that she was going to go to jail. She has a felony conviction, 9 days in jail. Her future as a teacher, she was going to school to become a teacher, is in jeopardy, all because she really wanted to get her kids in a better neighborhood and a better school. And then the system comes down on her and they get together and say, you need to do it like this, go over there, put this widget in that box. You know, that's just not right. It really says more about who we are as a people, as a community, to allow this to happen. You know, there was a judge in Missouri that handled it differently for a lot of kids who come from a failing St. Louis school district. He ordered earlier in the year that that failing school district needs to pay for those kids to go to a neighboring school district. I mean, why don't we do that as opposed to locking someone up?
And this hiring of private investigators to track her. I mean, I think of competition in the free market. I can't imagine McDonald's using detectives to try to keep people from going to McDonald's.
Yeah, you know, John, I love to hate bureaucracies. They can't help themselves. They will stumble all of themselves to keep you in line, to make sure that you adhere to this one-size-fits-all notion of how you educate children, where they go to school, how they do it. And it doesn't matter if the kids aren't learning. It doesn't matter if the environment isn't safe. It doesn't matter if it even doesn't make sense. They're going to make you be restricted in where you go, and then they're going to put all the weight of the government resources behind this idea of keeping you in line.
And you're with Democrats for school choice.
Well,
I thought Democrats were against school choice.
Well, I think more and more, you know, there's this notion that the people will lead the leaders. And I think over time, the Democratic Party has made a big mistake of allowing the vested interests in the bureaucracy, namely the unions, dictate how we feel about education and how we feel about schooling. Yeah, I think Democrats need to fall in line and our leaders need to fall in line. Now you've got to find a way to make sure that you tailor your educational options in the best way for individual children, not a system. Remember, the system was supposed to serve us, not the other way around. This is an example where it went awry.
Thank you, Kevin Chavous. We asked the school superintendent and prosecutor to join us here, but they told us they were not available.